Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. A capacitor is two electrical conductors separated by an insulator to create a component that stores electrical energy in units of farads. There are many types of capacitors, some including electrolytic, ceramic, trimmers, and tantalum capacitors. Now in a simple circuit, all capacitors will store electrical energy provided by a source and redistribute this energy in an event of, say, flicking a switch or using variable relays to set a certain charge limiting capacitor before discharge. Capacitors store and transmit energy through an electric field between the conductive plates, which is how their function in a circuit is possible. Calculating the total capacitance of an RC circuit is quite simple, as in parallel, the total capacitance is equal to the sum of all individual capacitors in the circuit, and in a series configuration, the inverse of the total capacitance is equal to the sum of the inverse of each capacitive component. If the capacitance of the capacitors are known, it can be easily calculated by the charge in a capacitor divided by the source voltage.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
An ideal capacitor will never dissipate energy once it's reached steady state, but in a real-world scenario, the capacitor leaks energy in what is known as parasitic discharge or current leaking. The energy of a capacitor can be calculated by this formula here, showing that the capacitor's energy is proportional to half the capacitance multiplied by the square of the source voltage. The charging phase of a capacitor can be visualized through a capacitor voltage against time plot, which shows the capacitance rate as it approaches steady state. Also visualized is the rate of current decrease in a capacitor current against time plot. As a capacitor like this one approaches steady state, you can see. Remember to connect your electrolytic capacitors the correct way. As I was saying, once the capacitor has reached steady state and a change has been made to the circuit where the capacitor is the dominant voltage possessor, according to KVL, the capacitor will begin the discharge phase, which can be similarly visualized like before. These formulas and ideas are the basis of solving and understanding DC RC circuits with the help of nodal analysis and Thevenin's equivalence circuit theorem.